Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Friday night edition of Into the Red Rabbit Hole. I'm Nighthawk, your host. We've got Eric backstage waiting to come on, and we are going to go through the disclaimer, and then we're going to get into the whole subject matter of tonight, which is going to be quite a topic because it's going to go from one end of this theory, actually, that's happening in real life. Because I have investigated this for quite a while on human harvesting. Okay. And we're going to get into the cattle mutilations and stuff like that also. So hang tight. Let's get through the disclaimer and we'll get on board the little yellow bus. Okay. Copyright disclaimer is Nighthawk Eye Strange's podcast channel may use some copyrighted material without specific authorization of the owner, but contends that it falls under the Fair Use, which is the Copyright Act of 1976. Nighthawk High Strange's podcast channel and all the podcasts on the channel declare fair use of any and all content to be used for the purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, research, parody, and general knowledge only. And let's not forget entertainment value. And I'll probably be saying that quite a bit tonight because some of these pictures I've got are kind of graphic. So I've got to repeat entertainment value just to go with the flow. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, otherwise known as the Fair Use Act. All right, let me get that off of there. And go to the comments and say hello to everybody. There's that E.D. Testerman. Demaria, good to see you. Dead Wolf, good to see you. Good to see you. Very good to see you. Don, good to see you. Robin, good to see you. E.D., good to see you. Oh, man. Yeah, we were just talking a little bit backstage, Eric, about tonight and the topic. And it's such a wide range of things that we could talk about concerning just the one topic. There's so many ways we can go with it. Yeah. And, obviously the topic is the human harvest. There's that whole prison planet theory and how we're just, continually cloned over time, and they're using the cloning method of us to harvest humans for food or for research. There's also the thing that bothers me the most about this subject, and it's not the cattle mutilations and all that. We'll get into that too about it because it has something to do with it too. Is a lot of places that are either public or even private medical facilities. When you go into the DMV and they ask you, do you want to be an organ donor? I always say no. And I make sure that it says that I'm not an organ donor on the driver's license. And I'll tell you why. They are passing laws that supersede anybody in your family, your immediate family, stopping them from harvesting organs off of your deceased relative. Okay, just because of that organ donating thing on your driver's license. Okay, they're using that to use as a loophole, basically, to get at people's organs. Now, I'm going to tell you all a little story of this one black guy that I know that I've talked to over this same subject. His son had a bad accident. His brain wasn't functioning normally, so the surgical unit declared him brain dead. Okay, and they were getting ready to pull life support off of him to harvest his organs. Well, my buddy, his father, saw the kid's finger twitching. Okay, saw it just twitching back and forth, like he was telling his dad, I'm still alive. Don't let them do this. Don't let them cut me open. I can feel it. I'm still alive. I'm still here. And his father literally had to throw himself on top of his son so they would not take him to the surgical unit to harvest his organs. Okay. Because everything that I was told from this incident, his wife was there with them. His wife's sister was there, and they were screaming at the doctors and the nurses and the organ donating place, that he's still alive. He is still very much alive, and we're not going to let you harvest his organs until you make sure that he isn't alive. Well, sure enough, one doctor came back in and said, yes, he's very much alive, and we can't harvest the organs. And the person that's responsible for harvesting the organs, the corporation, the people that they send in with the coolers and everything that are already medically ready to transport organs, got so upset they threw the coolers on the ground on the floor in the hospital and stormed off like a couple little kids. So the whole the whole thing of marking the donor, organ donor thing on your driver's license, I would highly not recommend that anybody do that, to tell you the truth. He was lucky, his son was lucky, that he had a father and a mom that witnessed his fingers moving, just enough, twitching just enough to show that and they even tried to say, oh, well, that's just his nerves twitching because his body's dying, his organs are shutting down. That was bull crap. Okay. That was complete and utter bull crap. All right. So what's he say? What's Robin say? Please try to stay out of the hospitals if you can, peeps. They are killing fields since 2020. Treat yourself. Yeah, very much, Robin. Very much. There is, God, I forgot what he said. That they like to do to the body before they harvest the organs. I forget what my buddy called it, but I'm sure there's people in the medical field know what they call it. But for being a father myself, and knowing the horrific feeling that you would have if that was your child laying there and you had to jump on top of him to keep the doctors off of him, and these organ donating places, they're contracted. Okay. They're contracted to be nice, and they're going to be so nice to you and say, oh, organ donating is a great thing. Your son or your daughter or your mom or your dad or your grandma or grandpa, they can live, on as somebody else. And you have that happiness of knowing that they saved somebody's life. I mean, they're going to butter you up one side and pickle you down the other, I mean, it's ridiculous. Okay. And that's their job. That's their function. Okay. To be the people to grab the organs, put them in these coolers and shuffle them off to God knows where. And that's the thing. Now, there are some instances too that people have woke up in the middle of having organs harvested, like livers and stuff like that. And just put yourself in that, situation just for a moment. Okay. And your ability to move and talk is limited because you're coming out of the anesthesia. Okay. And they obviously assume you're dead, so they're not going to have to give you any anesthesia after a while. So you're going to feel everything. You might not be able to react to it, but you're going to feel everything, every cut, every clamp, everything, which is literally horrific if you think about it. Well, there are also situations out there where people are being found on the edge of reservoirs, rivers, secluded roads, bicycle paths, all kinds of places all around the world. And people are found dead or unalived, and they look kind of like this. And I do want to warn you that some of these are extremely graphic, so please, it's entertainment only, okay? So think of it as not being real, if you know what I mean. We all know about adrenochrome harvesting, okay? Now, they are doing this to humans and animals for a reason, because it works off of our fears, okay? And thank God I don't fear anything. For God's sakes, they can't do this shit to me. Anyways, yeah, they're finding people like this in this condition all around the world. Lips missing, eye sockets and eyeballs missing, sexual organs missing, reproductive organs missing off of the females, and they're doing this. They're finding the same thing around the world with animals. Okay. Now here's the theory on the whole animal mutilation thing. Okay, there's a horse. Okay. There's another picture. That's a cow. Okay, now look at the cuts on this, how they're so surgically done that there's not hardly anything that appears to be torn or jagged cut. It's all surgically done like lasers. And then here's a cow. And notice, around the lips, the jaw, the heart was taken out of this one, and the lungs through that opening on the side there. And the sexual organs off the ass end of the cow was taken too off of this one. But and what they're doing is they're harvesting the sacred walnut, and the reason I call it a walnut is because that's how they describe it. The adrenal gland, the cannibal's walnut sauce. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, now, is this human on human doing this to humans and animals? Is it alien? Is it some deep, dark, satanic cult? I put that out to everybody in the chat, and everybody that's got eyes to see and ears to hear and a voice to talk. Give me your insights on this, because this is something that has been going on for way too long. Way too long. Are they all connected in some way? I would imagine so. Here's a young guy in his 20s that literally woke up just before they were going to cut into him. In the operating room, he woke up, and he literally said he sat up and he shouted, "Help me." And just, wow, just knowing that they were getting ready to cut him open and he woke up. It's amazing. God was looking out for him. But what do you all think about? What's your all theories, Eric? What's your theory on it?
Yeah, when it comes to livestock, I'm more towards the alien side of it, dealing with all that. I mean, there may be some government involved on that for whatever reason they have, but hospitals, 100%. There's too many reports of hospitals clinically saying someone is dead so they can harvest organs when they're actually still alive. There's tons of that going on. Countries all over the world are now passing laws where, as long as the government deems you clinically dead, they can harvest your organs without the family knowing, without asking permission or anything. Right. Ukraine's a prime example of it. Ukraine passed that law. that all they have to do is say he's clinically dead. It doesn't matter if they're a Ukraine citizen or a citizen from another country. If the government claims you clinically dead, they have every legal right to come in and harvest your organs.
Okay, now let me ask everybody this in the chat, and to you too, Eric. Okay, I want to ask this question because being veterans ourselves, do you think that could be a possible link to why there's so many wars going on and lengthy wars going on, that they can harvest the organs?
Mm-hmm. Well, not only that, but it's population control too. I mean, hell,
Yeah.
Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab and all of them's been, caught on TV talking about this is why they do it. I mean, the Rothschilds and Rockefellers make a shit ton of money from wars. Anytime they
The
need to bring their
Rothschilds,
profits up.
yeah, the Rothschilds specifically are at the head of the table on this. Them and the Rockefellers. BlackRock is the one that finances most of it, and the entertainment industry are the ones that promote it the most on radio and TV. Whether it's your favorite musical performer or your favorite actor or actress, they're all promoting it. There is even some questions to satanic cults being a part of this too, and using these organs on some of the people that they sacrifice, taking their organs and selling them to cover up certain things, to dispose of certain parts of the body, to say the least, that they can make a little bling off of. But yeah, and it's happening all around the world. Africa, the Middle East, like you said, Ukraine, Russia, China, Mongolia, Europe. I mean, all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, this is not uncommon at all. I mean, this is Richard done a $5 super sticker. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you very, very much, Richard. Thank you.
Yeah, I just hit 500, over 500 on my side too now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Been a roller coaster of a week. I do want to comment on something real quick. Richard says, I think many missings are portals. For me personally, I disagree with that. There's too many instances where either it's one, people are taken against their will. Two, it's been animal attacks. Three, it was an accident. They just weren't found. Four, certain things coming in, creatures that are not supposed to exist, but actually exist that are involved. Portals will have a part of it, but I don't think it's mostly portals. I think it's a combination of a lot of different stuff. That's just my opinion.
Right. Yeah, and portals can play a part in it. That's for sure, because we all know that when I was growing up, I experienced that kind of a phenomena from a very young age, and seeing that and seeing the effects of portals opening up and feeling that energy in the air and the atmosphere and the crispness, almost like static electricity. Just and we've experienced it here where we live too. I've got a video on the channel that shows that. So their portals definitely have something to do with it, but as far as the mutilation aspect of it goes, and the organ harvesting on humans and animals, it's more like the bodies are still left behind, but just certain parts of them, the reproductive parts of them, the like, or maybe the lungs are taken off of a cow, or the bladder from a cow, or the heart from a human. The lips are usually taken, the ears, the eye sockets, the sexual organs are usually taken. I mean, it's and the rest of the body is left there. And the weird thing about it, now this is the weird thing about it, everybody. The scavengers will not touch the corpse. Not even the insects will touch the corpse.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Richard, I can see where you're on the split second thing. I can see where a portal will be a good part of it, but you also can't forget the certain little creatures that supposedly don't exist that truly exist and how fast they move. Bodies disappear in seconds due to them as well. I mean, not only that, you got vampire that's they're a split second. They've got something they want, and that person's gone too. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but that would put the portals up on the higher range.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and to answer Twisted's question here, I'm pretty much my opinion, my theory, just because of the stuff that I know. Where those children are is what winds up in your McDonald's hamburger when people are done.
Now you know why the Bible says not to eat pork.
Mm-hmm.
Because humans taste like pork, and we are not supposed to eat our own kind. The Creator gave us dominion over the beast, but not dominion over other men and women. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a pretty. I don't even want to go there.
Yeah.
I think I just lost my appetite for my coffee, and I don't do that very much. But
we're called long pork for a reason.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. Oh man. Anyways, I just this really disturbed me because this guy that I know, just he was talking to me about it on the phone and explaining what happened, and this all happened just recently too, like right after the so-called cough thing, literally right after that, right after they declared that it was done and over with, and then 6 months later they say, oh, it's back. Anyways, he was just, I could tell from his voice trembling how upset he was at the medical staff that literally refused to listen to him explain to them that it wasn't just normal twitching, because his finger was twitching, his eyelid was twitching. He was trying to communicate with his family members there were at the bedside, and they always the mother and the father and the aunt, they're devout Christians, and they said they were praying about it and all that, and then that's when the father got up and he raised his voice and slammed his fist on the side of the bed, on the metal of the bed, and laid across his son so they couldn't take him away. And eventually his son came out of it once they took him off of the breathing device, the respirator, because that's what they do. They pull you off the respirator, they remove all your monitoring stuff, and your IV and all that, and then they process you, like you're in a meat factory. And it's frightening, very frightening, Twisted. But yeah, just hearing his voice crack, was enough for me to it really enraged me enough to want to talk about this subject. And it's been a conspiracy of mine, and I think of a lot of people, that this has been going on for a very, very long time, and that a lot of the reasons we have wars is because of this.
Yeah, Robin, they are. You're right. Current hospitals and med facilities are understaffed, really untrained to a large degree now after the pandemic, substandard core. Yeah, look at all the hospital staff they got rid of because they refused to take the sticky stick.
Very true. Yeah, I forgot about that. They did.
Yeah.
They got rid of a lot of them. So,
Mm-hmm.
but then again, a lot of those doctors and nurses and stuff and technical people for the hospitals that ended up quitting because they didn't want to get the jab, um, went to
Mm-hmm.
another state to where they knew that they weren't going to be forced to do it, like Florida and other states.
Well, and not only that, they also lost some due, and this one kind of hits home a little rough on me because I kind of experienced this myself with my mom. But nurses said they'd be talking to somebody who was just fine, and then they go somewhere else, come back, and the patient's gone. They said, yeah, they coded out, and it's like, how did they code out? They're just fine. We visited my mom. 30 minutes later, we get a phone call that she's dying,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
she was up. I mean, talking. Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's and
Hmm.
I mean, yes, we were ever since Adam and Eve, in the Garden of Eden, eating the forbidden fruit, we have been limited in our lifespan, okay, up to 120 years. Um, and most of us are lucky to even reach 75 or 80, to tell you the truth, with all the
Yeah.
chemicals they put in the foods and all the so-called phony inoculations that they want us to have, which are just basically guinea pig experiments, as far as I'm concerned. Um, because they didn't tell us what they gave us in the shots in the military. All they said was stand still, and boom, boom in each arm, with the guns, with the shotgun, literally the shotguns. Um, what was it, like nine
Hmm.
nine shots in each one? So we were inoculated 18 times with two of the guns, and yeah, malaria was involved in it, the malaria shot and a few others, but they didn't have to divulge anything really, because once you sign the paperwork to be in the military, they own your body, which is
Yep.
why the whole connection to the organ harvesting thing during wartime is such a viable theory, that they are illegally harvesting organs, literally, off of the dead
Yeah.
corpses that they, of people's children that they bring back, in a coffin. And
Even
it's
if you got it on there, it's against your religious beliefs. They still do it. They won't tell nobody
exactly,
they did it, but they still.
exactly. And to me, that's just completely messed up.
Hmm.
That is subhuman behavior, if you ask me, and rationalizing, um, to take somebody's organs and harvest them illegally and immorally, um, for either medical gain, research, gain of function research, transplant into more important individuals, which is a whole nother rabbit hole, let me tell you. Rockefellers and Rothschilds and everybody else that's involved with them. Um, it's sickening. It is literally just sickening. And then I started thinking about it too. Well, with the whole alien thing, I was under the impression, because I've been doing a lot with the alien abduction stuff and the cattle mutilation stuff. I've followed that pretty damn closely. And over the years, I just get more and more information, and from hearing what a lot of the other investigators put up with, that find out, I'm under the belief that they're using the sexual reproduction organs of the animals, because they can use the eggs of the woman and the sperm of the male humans, and make an artificial insemination process, and put that egg, that fertilized egg, within the sexual organs of the harvested animals and process cloning that way. That is one theory that I've always stuck by, that's why they take so many humans every year and so many animals every year, literally. So, and if you couple that with the areas where there's cattle mutilation and supposed underground facilities like they'll say New Mexico. So if Juno's out there, my hat's off to you, brother. I don't know if I'd be able to live there, bro. Or Area 52, Dugway Proving Grounds. Um, it's amazing because a lot of these underground facilities, there's rumors coming out of them and horrific stories of genetic manipulation on humans, on cloned humans, on children that are abducted, just disgusting things, that are done.
Mm-hmm.
It's there's no word for it other than disgusting. And to know that our government has a part in it, that just even makes it worse.
Kind of curious on Twisted's comment here. I was waiting on a reply back. Mystery Babylon, America must fall. I'm trying to figure out what she means by that.
Now, isn't the new Babylon supposed to be New York?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. America ain't going to fall, y'all. I don't give a damn what anybody says. America's not going to fall.
No, not if we have anything to say about it. And there's
The election
a lot of us out there that are ex-military. Trust me.
So hopefully tomorrow. That's not America falling, Twisted. That is the cabal. Big difference. Huge difference. It's not America that's falling. It's the cabal. The cabal doesn't make up America.
Right. And I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but judging from the escalation in the Middle East recently today, the WW3 is well on its way.
So it's been going on.
Yeah, well,
WW3's been going on. Everybody just don't realize it because it's not a conventional war that people think.
It is now.
It's been going on. It's been going on for 8 years.
Because they've been. Israel decided to take a good chunk of Iran out today. So that's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I got to say about that.
Hello, Demos.
Demos, good to see you.
Yeah,
that there is a spiritual aspect of World War III too, Richard. You are correct. There is a spirit because you got evil, you got evil, the darkness, and you got the light. Okay, and sometimes you can't really figure out which one is which, and that's kind of what's going on now, because you got all these different areas of the world that it's going on in, and everybody knows as well as I do, it says in the Bible that there are going to be wars and rumors of wars. So you don't know. And we sure as heck cannot trust the mainstream media. Sorry, but we just can't. So, we have to literally do the research ourselves,
So, Twisted, you're right on several counts, but there's more to it than what it's actually there. The yellow fringe around the flag means we're lost naval property. We've been that way ever since after the Revolutionary War, when we were in debt and we didn't want France to help us with our debts. We went back to the people that we knew the most, which was the British. That's why we're considered lost British naval property. We're not living, nor are we dead. But the fringe is also based upon the part of the corporation of the United States. So if a courthouse has fringe around their flags, they're part of the corporation. They're not part of the Republic of the United States. They're part of the corporation of the United States. So yes, QFS is getting to kick in. Already banks are already getting set up to take all that. You're absolutely correct on that part.
Yep. Now there is a part of that whole being property that there's a loophole to where if and they give us 3 years from the point that we're born and to 3 years old is the time frame that we are given to declare ourselves not dead property and request the lump sum of our estate that is rightfully and duly owed us, which is in the millions of dollars for each person. But if you don't do it within the first 3 years, which what the hell, we're just freaking kids, so we're not going to know any better, because we're not going to remember, so
yeah,
we're
still property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I fly an
Arizona
American
Raven.
flag. I don't fly a Federalist flag. I fly an American flag. I'm an American. I swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States, and that oath has no expiration date. I'll be a red-blooded American till the day I die.
Robin owns the peace flag. Oh, that's funny.
Corey, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't seen that one, Corey. Yes, twisted. Now, there's only a couple flags I fly here, and I'm not going to be mentioning too many of them. I'll just one of them just know that it's an American flag because I'm American by God. It's naval. The yellow fringe around the flag is naval.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of people don't know that,
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, when they go in front of a magistrate, that there's a whole different set of rules for magistrate court, and you'd be amazed at what if you knew about those rules, what your life could be like. We don't even have to legally have a driver's license, by the way. We don't
technically we don't.
Yeah. That was taken up in California by a guy in 2018, and he sued the California state government, and he basically won. And now he carries around this binder that has the court information in it and a letter from the judge stating that he doesn't need a driver's license, that he's an American citizen, a sovereign citizen at that. So yeah, he carries his binder around with him wherever he goes.
Yeah. It's funny whenever he gets pulled over and he just schools the hell out of the cops on that. Cops have forgotten their oath. The cops are no longer cops.
Exactly. Oh, a guy in Montana did that too, huh? Huh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. It's a steady. I don't know. I'll try to remember that. Twisted Russell J. Cloud. I'm sorry. Or Gould, however you say it. I'll think about it. Yeah, we need peace officers again. There's a lot going on, and I'm sorry, the internet has a lot of fake information out there. That's why I have very hard time going off of internet stuff.
Right. Yep.
So I'll try to remember to look into them. But I'm telling you, straight from the military perspective, straight from the history books, straight to everything dealing with the yellow fringes naval. I don't care what anybody says. I have the real U.S. peace flag, blue stars, white background, stripes up. Never heard of that one. Never heard of that one, show. I'll have to look into that. Local sheriffs here in SoCal are trained in dealing with sovereign citizens. They are considered fringe. Huh. Yeah, you got to be careful on that sovereign citizen thing too, because there's a lot of fake crap on the there's a lot of fake crap on the internet about the actual sovereign citizen stuff too. You have to be extremely careful about that.
Well, most of the indigenous people are considered sovereign citizens because it's their birthright. So,
yeah, Twisted. I was a Marine, so I was Department of the Navy. I was the men's department. I gotta have my military jokes in there. Yeah, wars mostly Riley. Yes, that is true. I have to look into that peace flag. I've never seen the peace flag one before. I have to look into it. The only one that's semi close to what you guys are talking about was, I can't remember what flag it was. And yes, it is. That's why you got to actually look at the true history. Devil dogs all the way, Corey. Arr, arr, arr. Yeah, I mean, the thing is we need to stop worrying about all these other damn countries, and we got to focus on ourselves first.
yeah,
Sorry. I know people got probably piss some people off, but I don't care. We need help in this country first, and we need to worry about ourselves before we worry about anybody else. Nobody else is going to give a crap about us but us.
Yeah, let's get into the whole adrenochrome thing, because, there have been people coming forward, like William Tompkins here, talking about the abduction and harvesting and eating of children by the Draco Reptilian Illuminati. Now, some people think that Illuminati thing is not real, but you know what? The connection to the reptilian secret societies that have living right amongst us, side by side with us the whole time, is real. Okay, that they do have that kind of, because they are considered the original inhabitants of this planet. Okay, whereas we are not. Okay, we were genetically manipulated to be here, and that was because of the Anunnaki, from what they say. Now, we do have cults and stuff to worry about too when it comes to, the human harvesting and all that, which, we have the hidden vampire cults out there, the satanic cults out there. So they're going to want just every bit of the human harvesting too, which, to get the adrenochrome, So, I mean, there's so many things, so many.
The adrenochrome is known as the elixir of life for a reason. There's certain reasons why you see certain individuals that didn't look like the age, even though they were in their 80s and 90s, until a certain person came into office and shut that supply line down, and you start watching them degrade as quick as the Crypt Keeper from Tales of the Crypt.
Exactly.
There's a reason why I believe that a lot of these cryptids that hunt humans hunt them for the adrenal gland as well. It is very well known as the elixir of life.
Right. Yep. And like I said, there's so many different ways we can go with this too, though. After just research and everything I did today too, to remind me of how deep some of this stuff goes. There are people in our own government that, especially the current government, that have the connections to a lot of these, how do I want to say this, these organizations or these fringe communities that are on the cusp of being, illegally harvesting organs and adrenochrome harvesting. So, and a lot of the big politicians, the Hollywood elites, the music industry elites, some of them are even coming forward, and spilling the beans because they don't want to go down that same road that Mr. Epstein went down, if you know what I mean. So,
Man, I am.
Then I pulled this up again, and I started thinking about this. Some of them aren't clones. Some of them are the xenobots, the synthetic life forms, which is why they go haywire and stand perfectly still and don't react to anybody interacting with them. But that's a whole nother rabbit hole there, a whole nother subject on that. So, but yeah,
we got a new member group.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome.
You had to wear dog tags walking to school? Damn. Where's that at? Where'd you have to do that at Raihanan? If I said that right.
Let me go back to the comments. I'm in.
Yeah. Actually, Corey, you're partially correct. It's not only fear, but it's the adrenaline, getting that adrenaline up. So they not only scare people, but they torture them and do all kinds of heinous, horrible stuff to them to get that adrenal gland to work the way it is. Oh, God, Robin, yes. Okay. Yes, Robin, thank you. Okay, I remember now. Hey, Christine. Demo said, didn't Hillary Clinton spit out something that looked like those xenobots? I can't remember.
I can't remember either. All I remember is Hillary Clinton's eyes changing a lot. So,
well, you're going to be seeing a lot of things happening soon.
Yeah, Christine. They're going to see a lot of weird stuff happening here in the next couple years. So.
Yep.
Anyways.
Well, I mean, there's like a lot of people, a lot of healthy people has mysteriously died. There's tons and tons and tons of videos out there where doctors or the undertakers have tried to put embalming fluid into these people, and it keeps shooting back, and they go in there and they're pulling 4 foot long clots out of them, and it was everybody who got the sticky stick.
Yep.
Spit in a glass and like round egg things came out. Interesting. I'll try to look that up, Demos, if I can remember.
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah. I think I remember.
It vaguely sounds familiar.
Yeah, definitely.
It vaguely sounds familiar, but
yep.
I'll have to look. Yeah, I'm going to have to look because it does vaguely sound familiar, but I'll have to look to make sure that's what I'm thinking of.
Yes, that's
well.
There's
we
just talked about that.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why you see a lot of homeless people mysteriously disappear too. Less fuss is going to be brought about a homeless person disappearing than somebody of stature. Yes, True. They are, Ray. They're right. Yes, they are.
Yeah. Now, the tampering with the human DNA, that is a whole nother night podcast, because maybe even a couple nights, because they're doing that for several different reasons. And it's not to extend the life expectancy of humans. It has nothing to do with that at all. And they can claim that they're blue in the face. They don't want us around unless we are literally their food or their elixir of life. Other than that, they've got no use for us. Okay. Why do you think the majority of us are born into the slavery of having to work, and having to be put through education systems that basically brainwash us and make us believe that the world we're living in is the way they want us to believe. So,
yeah. There was something here. Let me get back to it real quick. Where was? Show me they've been cloning humans a lot longer than we've known they've been cloning animals. Very, very common practice against the cabal to clone humans. Very, very common practice.
Yep. We just got to figure out where they're doing the majority of it at. And then we need to burn it down to the ground.
I can tell you about 3 places it's being done at.
Yeah,
And
I know a couple
3
of them.
that I know of. Yeah. I guarantee you there's more, though.
Yeah. I always figured Denver International Airport was one of them, too.
Well, Hollywood, Canada, and Ukraine are the 3 biggest ones.
And then you got Dulce, then you've got Denver International Airport, and then you've got Dugway Proving Grounds, and then you've got the mountain in Alaska. Oh my God, I can't remember the name of the mountain. Oh my God!
No, hell, they even got a movie about it.
I can't remember the name of the mountain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, they've done
Mount Hayes.
Well, yeah.
Mount Hayes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew I'd remember it. I'm not brain dead yet. Don't harvest my organs.
Riley, Bill Gates and Klaus Schwab and all of them has been talking about that for a long time. That was one of their biggest things. Noah Harari who's pretty much runs Silicon Valley, who's Klaus Schwab's right-hand man, is brags about being able to do that, and they've been doing that for a while.
Well, the one good thing that I found out today that my one son told me was that basically Bill Gates is going to have to appear in international court of law at another country over in Europe for his dealings with the cough,
Yep.
jab, jab.
Yep.
So, and that's probably the best news we could ask for right now when it comes to Bill Gates. So,
there's several countries wanting him to come in and do that because of his role in that. Several.
Yep. So, and you couple that with all the secret tribunals going on, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Bill Gates was indicted in another.
Yep, that's where I'm talking about. Yep, that's
there's like I said, there's several countries going after him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Can't hide behind all that money. Maybe he shouldn't have bought all that farmland.
Yeah, maybe he shouldn't have invested so much in the jab and then dropped it right at the last minute.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mine is today too, Camo. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was up late because I couldn't sleep last night because of an interesting thing I'll be sharing on tomorrow's show.
Yep.
Japan is going to stop the show completely. Yeah. A lot of countries have, Roxanne, yeah. I heard like 25 years ago that dentists in China discovered how to regrow teeth through a cloning process. Well, they've also learned how to regrow teeth through sounds. And those people mysteriously disappeared.
Uncaged Savage, good to see you in here.
Yeah, he's been in here before.
Damn, I can't think now.
Yeah.
Camo Dad got me off.
Up. I'll be honest with you guys. You know, everybody's talking about tomorrow. I'll tell you like this. We don't know when it's going to happen, because if we know, then the people who is not supposed to know is going to know. So anytime somebody puts a date out, I do not pay attention to it. I know that something is going to happen. I just don't know when. So false information is put out quite often to throw a certain organization off. So we have to keep that in mind. Oops, I skipped over it. Sorry, Twisted.
All
I
right,
skipped over
Camo
yours
Dad,
accidentally.
quit picking on me. Most people went through what I've been through the last 3 times with cancer. They wouldn't even be alive. So
yeah. So guys, don't get your hearts, your hopes upset for tomorrow. I know I've seen that in here quite often, seen it on the interweb and all that. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Just be prepared for when it does. Yeah, they'll never be public. When the one time it will be public is when it actually happens.
well, what kills me is the fact that they talk about how they're supposedly helping the people of Western North Carolina and Eastern Tennessee, when in actuality, the only ones really doing the effort and the help are the churches and the community themselves that are helping. And people from other parts of the country sending stuff and taking stuff there. At last count, there was, I think, in one state, in one little like county area, they found 1,000 bodies. 1,000. Okay, that's well over in just one county than what they've estimated for the whole area. As far as the federal government goes. So in that aspect, the government is full of shit. Okay, and they always have been full of shit.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. To answer some of you guys' questions, they're talking about tomorrow being the day that a lot of the stuff kicks off and this getting rid of the cabal, setting in the new fiat system and all that stuff, all these military tribunals, military coming in, taking over the government to get set up on elections. All that's supposed to kick off tomorrow. I'm sorry. I can't.
See it, Gord. Yeah.
They take it easy, so I can tell you now, if somebody's putting dates out, don't listen to it. You'll know when it happens. That's all I'm going to say. I can't talk a whole lot about that on here. But just trust me, don't believe in dates. Just wait for it to happen.
Yep, because it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is not something I can really dive deep into on YouTube. So, but yeah, that's why I always warn people: don't pay attention to dates. Yeah, you gotta be careful because, like I said, they're putting information out to throw certain people off, which other people are getting involved on it as well, which is taking a lot of people from the light. So it's a double-edged sword. Yes, it's doing a good thing by throwing certain people off, but it's also on the bad side of it too, because a lot of people who's waiting for it to happen and don't have their mind in the right place is depending on this happening, and whenever it happens, you lose them people. It's because their minds are not in the right place. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've heard that a couple times too, Dead Wolf. The rapture's supposed to happen tomorrow. I forgot about that one. I forgot about that one. Well, we don't even know that one. And I'm a firm believer what we think of the rapture ain't the rapture that we are taught in the Cabal Bible, but something totally different. So it's hilarious. Y'all just got to be careful.
Definitely.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, I am too, Riley. I am too. I know what's going to happen. I know things that's going on that people don't know that's going on, and there's things that's happened. There's things if people open up their eyes, they'll see it themselves. But until they open their eyes, they'll never see it. So, yeah, that's making a comeback. The The old one-niners making a comeback. All this stuff's making a comeback, which is close to election time, so of course it's going to happen. Just like a certain thing happening in a certain little state that took out a lot of voters and caused a lot of voters not to be able to vote, happening not too long ago too.
Yeah,
exactly, Robin. Exactly. You got to be in the right mind. If you're not in the right mind, then you're going to lose. What the hell?
What?
You got a little voice deal going on there?
Who?
It sounds like a robotic female voice happening on your end.
I don't have any Alexa here. I'm Alexis-less. Alexis-less.
I didn't. It almost sounded like an EVP. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. Richard heard it too. Yeah, Robin heard it. Roxanne's heard it. Richard's heard it. You sound like a female on an EVP device.
I don't sense anything right now.
Twisted even heard it, and so did Camo Dad. Yeah. It was like, "What are you doing here?" or something like that is what it almost sounded like in a female's voice.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, Demos heard it too.
I don't see another voice around my area at all. And there ain't nobody in the room with me.
It sounded like a female EVP voice that came across from your end. First, I thought it was Tracy talking until it hit the electronic side of it and had more of an electronic voice to it. And I think, that's not Tracy.
I don't even have a shit. I turned the coffee pot. I mean, I turned everything off here except the computer and the camera and the light. That's about it.
Well, right. Yeah. Riley, you're probably not going to like me on this one, but I still strongly suggest you vote. And that way we have a paper trail to back us up. Without that paper trail, we have nothing to stand on, and they win.
Now you guys got me wondering.
No, I shit you not. It came across. Like I said, the first time I heard the voice, it sounded like Tracy coming from the other side of the microphone. Then it got loud as shit and sounded like an electronic Tracy voice almost. Twilight Zone.
I'm not sensing anything. I'm not sensing anything.
It was like it was CA. Lots of children were taking. Yeah. Got to use that vote. Voting is extremely. I encourage everybody to get out and vote. Without that paper trail, we have nothing to stand on. Voting is extremely important, no matter what the outcome is. You have that paperwork to stand on. For certain reasons I will not mention on YouTube. Yep, even Riley said, yeah, a woman's voice. Paper, come on, man. They didn't use that. Paper. Yep. Yeah, that's a good point there too, Robin. It might be good to vote early because of what happened in Arizona. Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go in a little early and vote too. Probably Monday morning. Get it out of the way.
Yep, I'll be delivering machines on that Monday, voting on that Tuesday, and picking up machines on Wednesday.
Well, only thing I can say to everybody too, though, is that when you vote, when they hand you the card or the paper or whatever they hand you in whatever state you're in, nobody is supposed to write anything on that in pen or in pencil after you cast your vote. So when you go to the machine and you put the slip in the machine to cast your vote, it's supposed to go from the voting table that you're given to fill out your ballot to your hands to the machine, and that's it. They're not supposed to touch it in any other way. So, and that's what they're doing. That's one of the things that they're doing apparently is they're writing on it, invalid or something like that, something along that lines. And when it gets processed, they hand process it. They see it stamped invalid or written invalid with somebody's signature, they'll throw it out. So we have to watch that too. And that's just some advice that I was given. So
yeah. The Twisted, I thought I heard something about that, but only once. I wasn't sure if he was continually saying that or not, or if that was actually him saying it. I wasn't 100% sure on that.
I know that Benny Johnson said something about going and voting early, but not to process mail voting, because that's where a lot of the fraudulent stuff is going to come in at. So,
yep. And drop boxes, man, that shit's unconstitutional. So it's SOB too. And stupid drop boxes. Yeah. Yeah, there's always going to be fraud. I mean, look how many times on a certain party it starts with a D that people that's been dead for hundreds of years have voted. And to be fair, some of your rhinos have had that happen too. Okay, I thought it may be in his rally, one of his rallies I was watching. I heard it. I thought I heard. I just wasn't 100% sure. So, no, I'll tell you now. I don't give a damn what happens. Whatever. It's always important to do it because of our constitutional rights. In order for us to do what we need to do, we got to have them votes. Extremely important to have them votes. That's why I always tell everybody, get out and vote. Regardless of how you feel about it, get your ass out there and vote.
Get your ass out there and vote.
I'm serious. Like I said, this is a conversation that's for Rumble. This is not a YouTube conversation.
Yeah. We're going to get off this subject. Yeah, we're going to have to get off the subject and do a Rumble. We'll do a Rumble podcast.
Yeah, it's there's reasons, but did you hear a county, I think in Colorado, had 10 or more letters talking people do resign the mail-in ballots and all addresses were in a 2-block? Yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff going on. That's going to be something that's going to be brought up here real soon because of what happened the last time. Yeah, Roxanne, got to get off of it though. I can't. I got to be good.
Yeah, we're not going to get into it and get my channel banned. We're not going to get my channel banned now, everybody. Let's calm down.
Yeah. That's why I say Rumble. This is a conversation for Rumble. I'm saying that for a reason.
Right.
Did you?
Yeah. Ironically, it's right up there by the pictures. See, I've got my relatives' pictures and stuff. So,
heck yeah, man.
Right up there by that shelf was where I saw it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Robin. Roxanne says, "How was the weather, William?" Yes. Change the topic. And we're not trying to be mean to you guys. There's a reason why we say that. So when we say that's a Rumble show, that means we stop. That's a Rumble show. So
Poncho's in bed, passing out.
Yeah, leave it to Poncho. Make me feel good. You just hurt my feelers.
Sorry, but I'm going to try and get some sage lit here and do a little something here with some pipestone dust. Something I shouldn't put on camera.
That was absolutely right. For entertainment purposes only. Heck yeah. Gosh dang it. I should have read that before I popped that one up.
What?
Oh, Christine's comment. I didn't think about it, and I should have read it before I popped it up. Just like I can't put uncuts up either. Too much of it's happened. I can't put that stuff up there, guys. You caught me on that one. I'll give you credit. Um, that's why I hear everyone say entertainment purposes only. Yeah, we have to, especially as deep as we've gotten into. We've gotten too deep into it right now as it is.
Yep. Got to get off the subject. I'm telling you guys.
Yep. That's why I've got
Anyways,
now I'm reading everybody's comments before I'm putting it up now because y'all ain't being nice.
why don't we discuss what had happen at your place the other day?
Well, that's going to be for tomorrow's show, and that'll tie into
Okay.
Uncut's question right here. I'm going to be on tomorrow's, campfire chats with Eric and guest is where I'm going to talk about that. But needless to say, Uncut, I don't think you're going to be disappointed in what I'm going to talk about on my show tomorrow. Robin wants to know, how's the Rumble show doing?
Well, it's doing. I haven't done anything with it this week yet, but maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah. Getting low as 25 degrees here at night. Oh man, yeah, I'm enjoying the cool weather at night. So next weekend, I may be trying to make a trip back down to the area where I was last weekend for Saturday night.
Not going to be going alone, though, are you?
No, I think DA's wanting to come too. Me and him's got several areas we got to do, getting some investigations and stuff done. So, well, actually, I got a comment. I have a brother of mine that's in the Finnish army, and I kind of asked him about that. Roxanne, it's interesting what he says. I don't know if I'm allowed to put it on the air or not. He didn't tell me if I could put it on the air or not. But the comments I got was different than you would expect. And I do actually have a brother in Finland who's in the military. I've been searching Dogman accounts recently and trying to determine a description of one that is like what I saw. Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things to think of when we Dogman is a new term, y'all. Dogman started in 1984. Before then, it was werewolves and all this other stuff. But what we call nowadays a Dogman has a tail where the one without is usually a werewolf. I dreamed of Bigfoot a couple nights ago. I was in the woods with a clan. Felt so real. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know how them real dreams are. Yeah, almost 56 at night. So wow, yeah, it's been around the 60s and 70s here during the day. Finland got beautiful northern lights. Yeah, Finland's got some interesting things that goes on there. It seems that visually the Bray Road description is the closest to the type of Dogman I saw. And that's interesting because Bray Road actually has a couple different descriptions of things they say on there. And most of them is not Dogman or werewolf related. Hey, Freaky. But there is a description of a werewolf / Dogman on Bray Road. There is. He's breaking out the good. He's breaking out the peace pipe.
Holy shit. Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Oh, crap. I should have read that before I popped that up. Damn it. So I believe the Sierra sounds are authentic. I really do. To me, they sound a lot like Japanese chatter. I've been in Japan quite a bit in the military, and how they talk and how they put emotions in their sounds. To me, the Sierra sounds sounded a lot like Japanese chatter. But I believe the Sierra sounds are real. What's your opinion on that, William?
I think the Sierra sounds are real. There's
Mhm.
also a thing that a lot of us hear when we're out there in the middle of nowhere, and it's called the bionic bird. So that's all I'm going
Hmm.
to say about that. Those of you
Yep.
that have been out and you've heard, that bird call, and it's not a
Mhm.
bird. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, that's a big
Mhm.
thing too to hear when you're in Bigfoot country. So
Yep. Yeah. I'll ask Roxanne. He's in the military, so you have to kind of watch what he says, but also if you know how to decipher what he says, certain things make sense, and I'll leave it at that. So, in Michigan, here's so many reports of cryptids. I'm 74, following this topic for decades. Yeah, they're actually all over. Christine, they're literally cryptid reports, numerous of them all over.
500-pound crow, huh?
I've had a 500-pound dog, 500-pound owl, and a weird 500 some kind of weird bird call. Yeah. Um, I apologize for always asking about Dogman, not as much about other things. It's just personal. No worries, man. No worries. I just can't remember if Bray Rose had a tail on it or not. I honestly, I can't remember.
Well, I can tell you that the small town monsters were here in this area, and they did a documentary here in this area this past I think it was past spring, and they
Yeah.
definitely got an earful of things here, and an eye full of things here locally where
Mm-hmm.
we're at, and that bionic bird call and whistles and stuff we hear all the time here at night, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So and we're nestled right in between two mountain ranges. So you know, I
Mm-hmm.
got the Appalachian Trail on one side and another mountain range on the other side. So, and we're right there in between them. So this whole area is squatchy and doggy. So
Actually, I just thought of something about something. He put it on my Yahoo Messenger, so I'd say it is actually good. I can say what he says. Sorry, just don't. I just remembered that's where I was talking to him at. Let me get over to the right one. So, this is a good brother of mine. Um, he's in the same motorcycle organization I am in. He's just over in Finland. I'm waiting on my deal to load, and he brings a whole new perspective um, to this. And I won't say his name, but my friend says when we're talking about the 1939 ordeal, he said it was Finn soldiers, and he smiled. We don't have any pure evil stuff over here. That Verensushi um, is not that bad. Usually only livestock. All supernatural entities can be reasoned with, or reasoned with. It was the Christians that needed them to be bad or good. But as the old supernatural world has hard to kill over here, the priests started to demonize it, making them the uncontrollable evil, etc. So took that in a couple different ways. Either A, he's not allowed to tell me. That was creepy as hell when you looked at me there, fluffy butt, with the red lights. And I didn't see you hop up in that chair, and all of a sudden I could see this face looking at me. What are you doing, fluffy butt? That was creepy as hell. Um, one of my cats was sitting there. My room's dark with red lights on, and I didn't see Fluffy Butt hop up in the chair, and all of a sudden I see this face with this glowing eye staring right at me. So I took that as either A, we know of historical encounters throughout most civilizations about dog-headed tribes. So when he says fins, I'm wondering if that's what he means. And most commonly, they're not too bad. They can be reasoned with and dealt with, which makes sense on a historical point of view on it as well. The other thing I look at it is, could it be their version of the werewolf? So those actual fins, but at night they transform to werewolves because it seems what happened to the 1939 deal happened at night. So I don't know if he's just not allowed to tell me, and that's what he's told to say, or if it was the other way around. One of the other two possibilities it could be. And that's how I took that conversation. What are you doing, Fluffy Butt? Yeah, well, I'm doing something right now, and you're being awful needy. And
yeah, the twisted necks of those deer, they had a case of that right on the side of the road over in the state of New Jersey, on a like a 2-lane road, pretty busy road, but they found two doe there, and their necks were completely twisted, around a couple times and snapped. In fact, I think one of them was headless too. I think one of them actually had the head actually twisted so much that it twisted off of the deer. And there was a father and son that investigated it this past summer and or spring, and they did a good job investigating it. But everybody kind of kept tight-lipped in the community there. Because it was around the barrens, the pine barrens, and are just vast. I mean, New Jersey's not a concrete jungle. It's actually got a pine forest there with swamps and stuff too. So, very vast network of places for a cryptid to hide. Hence the Jersey Devil, but. Yeah, they investigated it, and they couldn't determine. The only thing that they could determine from finding those deer was that literally whatever twisted their head off had to have hands, plain and simple. Because you can't get that kind of a grip on something unless you have opposable thumbs, and be able to grab it and twist it. So bears wouldn't do it, mountain lions wouldn't do it, humans wouldn't do it because they wouldn't be strong enough, So
I can tell you. I mean, I hunt deer. That's. I never keep that a secret. And have I twisted heads off? Yes, I have. But that was after removing a lot of stuff to be able to do that. If I didn't remove certain things or make certain deals I had to make in order to be able to do that, I would not be able to do that.
Yep. First thing you got to remove is the neck roast.
Well, technically it's the fur, but then it's the neck roast, and yeah. But oh wow, Camo said I found a doe hanging in a tree crook years ago when I was muzzleloader hunting. It was fresh, still bleeding, but we had snow and there was no tracks.
That sounds like that incident that
Joe Bold.
The one where the guy was logging for a log. He was a new hire for a logging company, and he showed up early at work and decided to hike a little bit up into the wood line, and he found that deer up in the nook of a tree, and he saw that its head was twisted, and came back down, and then a guy from literally the other side of the mountain that was hiking from his mom's house, he was visiting his mom, was hiking, and he came across the same deer, and he hiked down into the area where they stored their equipment and stuff for the logging company, and was talking to the guy. And the owner of the company said, well, my equipment's been vandalized for the last several nights in a row. Missing equipment, flat tires, windshields busted out of them. And we're talking, big, heavy equipment, 55-gallon drums that are filled with stuff that are thrown, hundreds of feet away, cables pulled apart, and the size of the cables they use for tree, pulling, they're like, massive cables, just literally ripped in half, all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, they'll do that uncut. Yeah. Camo said, "Yeah, I always assumed a cat, but tree bass, damn tree bass, still a lot of my bait." Technically, yes, an alligator is a lizard. Yes, Roxanne, I was trying not to be rude and interrupt William. Yes, that's a yes. So that's why I was going. No, I reached out. I reached out to my brother yesterday about that. Very interesting comeback on that, actually. Considering what the Finnish government puts out and says it wasn't them. And then I get a comment like that, makes me go, But yeah, I mean, like I said, from a hunter's perspective, a man can't do that. With something in a tree, that's going to be the only thing in the U.S. that would do it. Possibly a bear, even though that's very, very uncommon for a bear. I mean, a cougar would do it. Human would do it to keep it away from wildlife, but other than that, the cryptids out there would do it. Oh.
All right, I'm out of coffee.
Yeah, Fluffy Butt's being a little needy at the moment. Y'all seen him look me through that red light. That was kind of freaky as hell for a moment.
Well, we're going to continue this conversation tomorrow, everybody, because I'm out of coffee, and I know Eric's tired. I'm tired, and I'm going to be going outside. So, because I'm hearing something.
Iguana's pretty good up there. Yeah.
So,
I need to put my parabolic mic out, especially after yesterday's deal.
I'm going to put a digital recorder out tonight.
Yep. But yeah, gator is good. I've eaten gator uncut, but I've ate iguana too, and iguana's pretty dang good.
Well, everybody, I want you all to have a good night. Please like, heart, and share this out. Tell all your friends. Maybe Eric and I can get together on Rumble and do a Rumble show about all the political stuff that we can't talk about here. Okay. So look for that. And yeah, I got to go outside. I'm sorry, guys. Every time the ECBRO have their camp out, every time they have their camp out up in the in George Washington National Forest, there's always activity here. Always activity. It's like they avoid them and come down here to me, and it's like, damn. So yeah, I got something going on outside.
That, or it's them setting something up to make them look good.
Yeah.
But not that people would ever do anything like that. No. They would never steal people's money to do something like that, to continue stealing people's money. Not saying they would, but people do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I definitely.
That'd be interesting. But yeah, we'll be looking forward to the tomorrow morning show, and And on my show tomorrow night, we'll be talking about what I had happened out here last night. So,
There we
and
go.
if you guys ain't remember my Patreon, my GoPro videos, I'm slowly adding them onto my Patreon. I've only got one tier now on Patreon. It's $3 to subscribe. So my videos from last weekend, as I go through them, I'm adding them on Patreon once I'm done looking through them.
Well, everybody, thank you for being here. Okay, I appreciate the chat. All the comments are appreciated. If you can, like, heart, and share this out. Subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to subscribe to the Rumble channels too for Eric and myself. Okay. So with that being said, we'll see you all in the morning, tomorrow morning, and we'll get back into it. Right now, I want to get outside with my camcorder and see what I can find.
Heck yeah, man. I can't wait to see if you catch anything or not.
There's definitely something out there. All right. I will see everybody later. Everybody have a great rest of your night. Question everything. That's your right. You're allowed to question everything. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Peace, love, and blessings, everyone.